What's going on, guys? Today we're going to take a look at some Aramid Fiber and Kevlar cases for your brand new S25 Ultra. Now, a lot of people always ask me, Jabber, what's the best case to get when it comes to an Aramid Fiber case? Now, chances are you're in the market for a minimalist type of Aramid Fiber case, but they're not all the same. Some are made with Kevlar, some have 360-degree protection, but either way, that Aramid Fiber feel is just super premium. So I'm just going to go over some of my favorites when it comes to this category. As always, if you like this video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, as that really helps me out. But let's get into some of my favorite Aramid Fiber cases, and I'll just tell you a little bit of the differences between these, especially some from Benks and Pitaka, because one is actually almost about twice the price as the other. As always, I have full reviews on each and every one of these cases, so I will leave a bunch of links down in my description there. Let's start with some of the cases that I think attempted to make a nice Aramid Fiber case, but didn't really do the job all that quite well. But shout out to Nilkin for trying to make a pretty cool case, and they actually did succeed by incorporating some features that you might want on an everyday case, such as the fact that you do have a built-in kickstand. So if you wanted to insert your S25 Ultra, matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do that and show you what it's going to look like. You do get those individual camera cutout treatments on this specific case. They did have other cases that completely enclosed the camera housing there or had a big major cutout, but in any event, all of the cases were basically the same from Nilkin. Now, I like the fact that you do have a kickstand. A kickstand, once again, just comes in super handy, and I like the fact that it can work in landscape or portrait. But where this case failed, in my opinion, is actually the fact that it does feel like a TPU type of case, but a kind of slick feeling TPU on the sides. I mean, I like the fact that we do have these palm grip grooves, but over time, I think this is just going to become slick and look like one of those cheap TPU cases. And the back doesn't really feel like Aramid Fiber. That's just a little bit of a knock as far as I'm concerned when it comes to an Aramid Fiber case. Inside, you do have a nice thin layer of Aramid Fiber, and then they covered it with this kind of resin to ensure durability and give people a little bit more scratch resistant, and they said fingerprint resistant case, but this one doesn't really resist fingerprints, and when you pick it up, you don't get that satisfying Aramid Fiber feel. But otherwise, it is Aramid Fiber, and on the inside, a lot of people are asking me on my actual video. On the inside, guys, you do see the Aramid Fiber, and you can feel it. It feels a little bit different than the outside did. But in any event, this will be kind of like an honorable mention. I think if they went back to the drawing board, they'd be able to give us a much better case. At the end of the day, the in-hand feel just doesn't give you that premium Aramid Fiber feel. So that's the case from Nilkin. Let's move on to another case that I actually just reviewed, and I really like this case, guys. This is from a company called Aulumu, and I think it's one of the best design cases that you can find, and you do get that premium Aramid Fiber feel each and every time you pick up this phone case. And it actually has some hidden tricks up its sleeve, like an actual aluminum camera housing there with a mesh and individual camera cutouts. Now, this mesh serves as a function to dissipate heat, and on the inside as well, you do have a silicone pad that's going to help get rid of that CPU heat as well. MagSafe goodness on all of these cases. I always say buy a case with MagSafe, you'll thank me later. But it's overall a very nice looking case. This would have been my absolute favorite, 100% for sure go-to case, because you do have a color changing strip that's going to let you know whether or not your phone is hot or not. And the red means cool and the yellow means hot. I don't know why yellow doesn't mean cool or blue means cool and red means hot. But in any event, a color changing strip just brings out the happiness, brings out the nerd in me 100% for sure. And I like all the monikers, all the little words they have all around this case, like 25 there, CPU cooling holes, which these holes look really premium and awesome. And so do the individual camera cutouts. And the aluminum frame for these cutouts also is super premium. And just all the little marks around, the little cutout there to see the actual color of your S25 Ultra was a very satisfying look. And this is one of the better looking Aramid Fiber cases in my opinion. But the bottom was left cut out and open, and I'm just not a super fan of these because, as you can tell, it is a minimalist style case. And minimalist style cases give you that, well, minimalist style protection. So I would like to see as much protection where possible from these thinner types of cases. So having a complete cover on the bottom, minus of course the cutouts, would have made this the absolute perfect case. Now, that being said, guys, I have been using this as my daily since I got it, just because this design is so satisfying, but I'm a little bit more on the cautious side when it comes to this case. Now, Aramid Fiber, minimalist type of cases, you should be a little bit cautious, and it's not for the person that's rough and tough with their devices, But one of these cases, as I'll bring to your attention, I did drop it from 3 feet, and the only thing that cracked was my screen protector. So that being said, if you put a screen protector on these minimalist style cases, it will protect you from the occasional drop. But as you can see on all of them, they're just not really made to be that rough and tough, heavy duty type of case there. The Alumu case is one of my absolute favorites. Nerding out, teching out, if you're that sci-fi geek or just a cell phone enthusiast in general, this case is definitely should be on the top of your list there. Now, when they come back to the drawing board, I would like to see that full cover on the bottom, and I would like to see a 360 type of pro model, if you will. Now, speaking of a 360 Pro model, let's move on to another case here, guys. And this is from a well-known brand, a well-known OG when it comes to Aramid fiber cases. This, of course, is going to be from Pitaka. Now, this case here has a little bit of a different trick up its sleeve, no color changing, nothing like that, but you do get these NFC tags on the side. And what these tags will allow you to do is allow you to basically customize them for anything that your heart desires. You can set it to turn on Wi-Fi, you can set it to open an app, you can set it to start any type of task that you might have made within your S25 Ultra there. So these 3 buttons on the side are definitely really cool. And the fact that this does offer you 360-degree protection definitely puts this up high on my list. And when I say 360-degree protection, I mean that your buttons are covered, your bottom is covered, and just getting basically a normal case, but with that Aramid fiber goodness. As you can see, guys, Aramid fiber cases always are going to catch some fingerprints, but you just got to wipe them down. I mean, that's just the nature of this material. But a quick little wipe down is going to get rid of most of those fingerprints that you get on the back here. Now, this Pitaka case has individual camera cutout treatments once again, and your buttons feel really premium, really nice buttons. All of these buttons on all of these cases are really nice. Most of them are metal, so you do get a nice feeling touch each and every time you press those buttons. Now, once again, this case from Pitaka is their pin button case, and it's just an overall very nice looking case, and you do feel that Aramid fiber goodness on the back. So yes, this is a very nice case. If you want to add a little bit extra when it comes to these buttons on the side, I would definitely check out the pin button case from Pitaka now. But the only thing with this Pitaka case, you don't get that satisfying feel of Aramid fiber. Yes, it does feel like Aramid fiber, but it doesn't feel like the raw Aramid fiber to the touch. It just is a little bit more kind of silicone-y, rubbery, if you will, type of feel on the back there. So again, it depends what you guys are looking for, but the pin button case is definitely getting an honorary mention as well. Let's continue on with the rest of these cases. So now we're going to move on to a different company called Benks, and Benks is a company that's actually using woven Kevlar. And quite honestly, guys, a lot of people ask me what's the difference between Aramid fiber and Kevlar. And when it comes to the touch and feel and durability, at least as far as I'm concerned, they're both about the same. Now, the difference with Benks cases are that they're just about half the price of Pitaka's Aramid fiber cases, or just about any other Aramid fiber case out there. The one I showed you from Alumu is about 70 bucks, and Benks's cases are usually about 40 or 50, so you are saving some coin when you pick some of these cases up. And they even have some of these Kevlar cases that are 30 bucks. So again, you are saving quite a bit of coin. And I do like the individual weave. You can actually feel it as you rub your fingerprint across the back of this case here. It's just a very satisfying feel. And again, guys, this does feel like Aramid fiber. It's that same type of feel in your hand. It's a premium type of feel. Now, putting in my phone here, you can see that again. It is a minimalist style case, so your buttons are exposed. But the bottom does have most of it covered. You can see that there. Just a little cutout for your S Pen, your speaker, and your USB-C right on the bottom there. And it is a very nice, very satisfying minimalist type of case. Now, this case has an open back. You can see for the cameras, no individual camera treatments. And quite honestly, guys, I think it's about time everyone just does individual camera treatments. But that being said, I think this actually looks pretty nice. I mean, I think they did a nice job when it comes to the accent colors, just kind of giving us a little bit of a little different material, different color change, no matter which way you look at this case here. I like the two-toned action. I like everything about this Benks case. So this again is a Kevlar case from Benks, and they do have other flavors. You can see that there are different colors. Most of these manufacturers offer you different colors. So it just depends on what suits your needs and whatnot. Again, this has that full cutout right here. So these are the cases from Benks. I think they do a nice job. I'll leave links for all of these cases down below, guys. Now, the next case we're going to take a look at from Benks is going to be like their montage and their Armor Pro, and these are Kevlar cases as well, but these are 360 type of cases. So they do give you that full protection. They're not gonna have any of your sides exposed or anything like that. So let's just go ahead and show you what these are gonna look like. And the montage is actually my favorite. I usually put this one on just about most times because I just like the way it looks. It's just a very nice looking case in my opinion, especially if you do have a jet black type of S25 Ultra. It just matches really nicely. And you do have these TPU sides, which actually give you a little bit more grip when you pick up this phone. But unlike the other case I told you about, the Nilkin case, it just doesn't get smooth. Like the Nilkin case, I have been using them. I've been using all of these cases. But the Nilkin case is just kind of getting smooth and softer and slicker the more and more you use it. So I'm not sure how that's going to do over time. Whereas the Benks case, I have been using this probably for a month, 2 months on and off as my daily, and it still feels just as new. It's not getting that slick type of TPU look on the side there. Nice feel, nice grip. So if you wanted a Kevlar case or you wanted some type of case that gives you a little bit more protection, these 360 Armor Pro cases from Benks definitely do a really nice job of giving you a little bit more protection while maintaining that slim type of design, slim type of feel in hand, and not adding a lot of bulk in your hand. And when you pick up a Kevlar case or an Aramid fiber case, you're looking for a thinner case. It's not going to add an extra bulge in your pocket. You just want to keep things thin and manageable. And this is a great case for you. Now, if you don't like the montage, go ahead and put that aside. They do just have a regular Armor Pro that looks really cool. Once again, kind of looks like that Aramid fiber type of look, but it is using Kevlar in their cases. Very nice look, guys. I think even with the massive cutout, it still looks really nice and attractive in my opinion. Once again, all of these cases do have MagSafe, and you can see built with Kevlar right there. Let's move on to a really favorite case of mine. This is going to be probably my second favorite case when it comes to Aramid fiber. This is from a company called Fiberborn. Fiberborn is kind of like HBO Max. They changed their name from Thinborn to whatever else, but they're always coming back with some great content. And that's what it comes down to with these Fiberborn cases. This one actually has one of the strongest magnets that I've seen in a thin Aramid fiber type of case. And what I like about the Fiberborn cases, you do get individual camera cutouts here. And this is the case that I actually mentioned a little bit earlier on in the video that dropped from 3 foot and actually protected my phone quite well. And that little drop from 3 foot, I just got a tiny little scratch right here. And it did fall on little stones and rocks and gravel when I was out in the country. So I'm really not going to fault this case all that much. I mean, falling on gravel is going to do some damage no matter what type of case you have. But you can see I just got a tiny little nick. And again, I did have to change my screen protector. There's a little nick right there as well. But overall, it held up pretty nicely. And what I like about the Fiberborn case is, again, you get that Aramid fiber feel. It just feels super premium. Nice color as well for a jet black S25 Ultra. But again, with these individual camera cutouts, you don't have to worry about what color goes best with this case. All these phones have the same camera lenses, so it's going to look pretty pimp either way. Once again, guys, fingerprints, Aramid fiber, and I am sweating behind this camera, so that's adding a little bit more of these fingerprints on the back of these cases. My apologies, but it is getting hot in this office. But either way, you can see a quick wipe down does wonders. No doubt about that. So the Fiberborn case is going to be my second most favorite case, and I'll give you my rundown at the end of this video as well, kind of putting them in perspective for you guys. But I like the individual camera cutouts. I think they do an excellent job. But my number one favorite case is going to be from the OG Pitaka. Now, why I say Pitaka is my favorite is because they give you a lot of choices when it comes to styles. I mean, they give you about 4 or 5 different options to choose from. They even have some specialty drops from time to time. It just means that you can pick the case that best suits your style. This case is actually called a tactile woven case, and it does have woven Aramid fibers, and you can really feel these fibers as you run your finger on the back here. This tactile woven case in Over the Horizon, I believe this one is called, just feels really premium in the hand. And I like the fact that we get a different color for those camera cutouts. Individual camera cutouts, once again, super stylish. And if we get up close and personal, you can really see those weaves. And because they're a little bit thicker, they're not as fine as some of the other cases, you definitely can feel them as you run your finger on the back here. And that's just very satisfying each and every time you pick up your phone. Cutouts are all perfect, and again, it's just a stylish looking case. They do have regular Aramid fiber if you just want something like that. They have a orangey type of color, some glow-in-the-dark ones as well. check my links down below, but this by far is one of the best Aramid fiber cases in my opinion. But let's run down my top 3, and if Alumu actually made a full bottom case, this would be my top favorite. This is just a special looking case, super nice in my opinion. Now, of course, you do have to be a nerd, you do have to be more of the enthusiast to appreciate all of the little details that are put into this case. So Aulumu, give us a bottom next year around, and this is going to be my top Aramid fiber case to beat. And all these other companies, take a look at this one, because you're going to want to do something like this for your next iteration as well. Just stand out from the crowd. But let's put that aside. This is actually going to be, let's call this one my top 3. It has to be in my top 3. Number 1, of course, is going to be Pitaka. I just love all the designs that they have. I just love the different color for the camera cutouts and the way that you can feel each and one of these weaves. And again, they're just the OG when it comes to Aramid fiber type of cases. My other runner-up, let's go ahead and find Fiberborn. This is going to be number 2 with the Fiberborn case. Strong magnet, very strong magnet on this case. And it's just very premium looking, very sleek, very Dark Knight looking. So Fiberborn, you guys are doing a really good job. These would be my top 3 minimalist type of cases. And for those of you that are looking for a 360 type of case, I would take a look at Benks. They actually give you 360 type of cases. Pitaka gives a pro version on their iPhone, but for some reason they don't do it on the S25 Ultra, unless you count the pin button case. So again, if you're looking for 360 protection with an extra couple features thanks to these NFC tags, I would go for the pin button. But if you're just looking for an overall more protective case, I would check out Benks, guys. They do a really nice job on their Pro series, and they give you a nice feel. They're very durable cases. So this would be my recommendation. And if you're looking just to be a little bit on the budget-friendly side, there's no shame in being budget-friendly. You can pick up 2 for the price of 1. Benks cases are definitely up there when it comes to premium. These are premium cases. Don't let the price fool you just because they're a little bit cheaper than the rest. So if you can pick up 2 for the price of 1, you can swap them in and out and kind of make yourself happy on different days of the week. Benks cases offer you that same premium in-hand feel, that same great magnet on the back. They are made from Kevlar, which is very durable as well. So these would be cases that I would give a shot at. Definitely take a look at these cases. Nice styling as well. Depends if you like that open cutout versus individual camera cutouts. As you can tell, guys, I am leaning more towards individual camera cutouts. It just looks really premium and nice and sleek. But in any event, let me know what you think about all of these cases down in the comments below. They're all premium. They all offer you something different that some other cases might not. And at the end of the day, it comes down to style. Whether you like the blue or whether you like this kind of brown earth tone type of color, or whether you just want to go all black and be that Dark Knight that you are, all these cases are going to give you something special and premium. And at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want to feel special and premium when you pick up your phone. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you in another video.